people happen to like the Guardians of the Galaxy as much as they like Captain Marvel. Naturally, these two cosmic entities and properties could lead to some sort of crossover. There's been a lot of speculations and articles and videos made by people in regards to the character's future, specifically Captain Marvel's and where she could end up next. Now, the director James Gunn addresses her appearance in Guardians 3. If you don't like Captain Marvel, you don't really have to worry. Unless they're lying, which we'll get to that. So after Captain Marvel came out, it was very apparent when you look at the box office that people want more of this character. Now, of course, Captain Marvel 2 is still quite a bit of a ways off, and of course, we know that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is in fact gonna happen. Now, recently, when James Gunn was doing his rounds of responding to questions, he was asked about Captain Marvel and how she's never met the Guardians before Endgame. Now, he replied with, there's a 6 of sentient beings in the universe. It would be unlikely that they had met. Now, this comes after there's been some speculation out there by people that there could be possibly some sort of crossover in Guardians 3 with Captain Marvel during that giant time gap. Now, I can see why people would believe that, because obviously Captain Marvel was out in space from the mid-90s to, like, what, 2020 or whatever? So, yeah, that's a pretty huge gap there, right? So, how did she not run into the Guardians? Again, as he says, there's so many planets out there. Like, come on. It's like walking on Earth and being told, okay, find this person, look at their picture, and you have no idea where they are. Except it's about a million times that, right? So, how are you going to proceed with that? So I think that's correct, but I think people are also looking into this a little too much because, if you guys remember, I did a video on this. James Gunn confirmed that the third Guardians film is a sequel and will be set after the blip. So it's going to be set after all that when they go off into space. So he's saying that no, they didn't meet each other because that no, whatever. But he's not saying that she can't appear in the third Guardians because anything's off the table. They know each other, right? Maybe they can call her or something. Maybe she does show up. Who knows, really, right? So in one way, he's telling you one thing, but in another, he's not confirming anything. So maybe they'll run into each other in the third films, but yeah, you know, it's not a prequel, it's a sequel. So there's a little way to wiggle some room in there and say, well, I didn't lie, which we know they do plenty over at Marvel Studios.